All right, everybody, what's up? Got something a little bit different for you today. Normally, I just sit at the computer, record my screen, and work math problems. Well, today I'm going to do something a little bit different. Got a GoPro, and I went out and I shot a time lapse with it. And I'm going to ask you a math problem based on that time lapse. We're going to see if you can work it. We're going to take a look at the GoPro settings that I used. We're going to look at the time lapse, and then I'm going to ask you a math question based on that time lapse and see what you can do with it. All right, I hope you enjoy this. So let's go ahead and take a look at the GoPro settings. All right, so here we got the GoPro. Let's take a look at the settings I used. So first thing, I've got it on time lapse. If you swipe it here, you can go to video, or swipe it again, you can go to photo. But to get to time lapse, you just swipe it over until you see the time lapse. And so I'm shooting a time lapse, and we click on here, and you can see you can shoot a time warp, a time lapse, or a night lapse. Time warp, it's a little bit different than a time lapse. I might do something with that in another video and explain it to you then. But let's look at the time lapse. So you click on this pencil right here, and I shot it at 1080, high definition. I didn't shoot in 4K. Shot a wide angle lens, and the format I shot was video. Now, when you're shooting a time lapse, you can shoot video, or you can come up here and tell it to take a bunch of photos. I just did the video on this one. And my interval was 5 seconds. You can change this to, you can change it to half a second, 1, 2, you can really adjust the interval of it. I was doing clouds, so 5 seconds is typically what you'll do on clouds. They don't move very fast. If you're shooting something like moving cars or something like that, you might want to lower the interval, maybe like 1 second or something like that. I didn't zoom in any. And then the white balance, left it on auto. The ISO, I had a minimum of 100, maximum of 200. Sharpness, I left it on low. I've done some reading and trying to learn how to do these time lapses, and they say if you put the sharpness on high, it tends to over sharpen it. So everybody was saying leave it on low. And then for the color, I left it on GoPro. You can do GoPro, or you can do it flat. I just left it on GoPro. And shortcuts, didn't do anything with that. And yeah, that's my settings there. And then once you get that, all you do, you hit the top button up here to record, and you just let it sit there. And I'll tell you how long I left it running and how much time I got how much video I got. That's actually the question, the math question that I'm going to ask you. So first, let's take a look at the time lapse, and then we'll jump into the math problem and see if you can answer it. All right, so now let's take a look at the math problem. It says when I let the GoPro film for 1 hour and 3 minutes, and I got 25 seconds of footage. Okay, that was what I actually got, the time lapse you just watched. So let's suppose I want 45 seconds of footage. How long do I need to let the GoPro film? All right, so pause the video, see if you can work it, and let's work it. So I'm going to let X equal time, well, let's do amount of time GoPro needs to film. All right, so there's our variable X. So we're just going to set up a proportion. So before I work it, one thing I need to do, let's get everything in terms of the same units of time. you can see I've got seconds and I've got hours and minutes here. So I could convert everything to hours, but you know, when you convert 25 seconds to hours, you get a nasty decimal like 0.0069 and then a bunch of fours. And for converting 45, I don't know what you get. You probably get another nasty decimal. I think for, you know, to keep the numbers halfway decent, maybe we can convert the hours to seconds. I don't know. We'll try it that way. So let's look. So we've got 1 hour and 3 minutes. So 1 hour and 3 minutes. So converting that to seconds. So that's going to be, let's see. So 1 hour, that's going to be times 60 and times 60 again to get it to seconds. So I multiply the 1 hour times 60, that gives me minutes. And then go from minutes to seconds, I multiply that by 60 again. So that's going to be 3,600 plus, and now I've got the 3 minutes that I need to convert to seconds. So to convert that, I'd take the 3 minutes times 60. Okay, so 3 times 60, that's going to give me 180. So that's going to be 3,600 plus 180. That's 3,780 seconds. That's how long the GoPro filmed for. So now let's set up a proportion. So the amount of time that the GoPro filmed was 3,780 seconds, and I got 25 seconds of footage out of it. And that's going to equal the amount of time the GoPro needs to film over the 45 seconds that I want. All right. So just remember, you're letting the, how long the GoPro filmed is in the numerator here. So it's got to be in the numerator here. And that's what X is. It's the amount of time the GoPro needs to film. And then the footage, the amount of footage I got, that's in the denominator here. So I've got to put it in the denominator here. And then I solve. So all I'm doing to solve this is I am multiplying everything by 45 to get rid of that 45. So I get X is equal to 45 times 3,780 over the 25. So I've got 3,780 times 45. And then I'm going to divide that by 25. And that gives me 6,804. And that's seconds. But remember, I want the answer in hours and minutes. Okay? So I need to convert seconds to the hours and minutes. So let's see. The 6,804. So what do I need to do? Divide that by what? 60. And that will give me minutes. So divide that by 60. And that's going to equal 113.4. And then I'm going to divide that, the 113.4, I'm going to divide that by 60, because this is, remember, this is minutes now. So divide that by 60, and that's going to equal 1.89, and that's hours. But I want that in minutes. So I've got 1 hour, and now I'm going to take this decimal here, this 0.89. That's 0.89 hours. I'm going to convert that back to minutes. So if I do 0.89 times 60, so 0.89 times 60, that is 53 point, let's see. That is 53.4 minutes. So we will say 54 minutes. So if I let the GoPro run for that amount of time, I should get 45 seconds of footage based on the 5-second interval, okay? If you change that interval, then it's probably gonna change the length of footage you get, okay? If you shoot at 1-second intervals, it's gonna be different. So you'll have to test it out. Now, let me ask you this. Do you like this format where I do the problem at the end and I work it? Or would you rather me not work the problem and let you work it and post your answers in the comments? Okay? Well, let me know in the comments, what you prefer. If you like me working it out, or just leave it up to you to work it. But anyway, this is a new kind of video that I'm doing. I'm still gonna do the other ones, but I'm just gonna throw these in every now and then. I think it's nice to get out there and let you see everything, actually doing it, and then coming back and working a problem based on it. All right, so I'll do these every now and then, but at the same time, I'm still gonna be posting the videos that I've always been doing. So, like I said, hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.